All right, wonderful. Please, Doug, come on down, and I'll go through the reading of nominating and the reading of this proclamation. And I'm personally glad to be able to read this one myself, because I feel so strongly about economic development and tourism in our community and the value that it brings and the jobs that it brings. So I'm glad that we're going to do this today.
May I hand these? I have a hard copy.
Please, would you like to hand those out first, and then I'll do the proclamation? That'll be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, very good. So I move for approval of the proclamation supporting the 2018 Destination Master Plan for El Paso County. Whereas tourism is a major economic engine for El Paso County and the Pikes Peak region, and whereas the catalytic impacts of destination promotion include building transport networks, raising the quality of life, attracting strategic events, and raising the destination profile. And whereas in 2017, tourism brought 23 million visitors to the Pikes Peak region, spending $71 per second and resulting in an economic impact of $2.3 billion. And whereas per year, visitors pay more than $94 million in local taxes, and revenue from tourism saves each local family of four $835 in taxes. And whereas every dollar invested in tourism promotion creates $30 in economic activity and $1.65 in local tax revenue. And whereas tourism is the third largest industry in the region, providing more than 17,000 jobs, and whereas fierce global competition and consumers demanding authentic, local, and unique experiences and services makes 2018 the perfect time for a destination master plan. And whereas a destination master plan develops a clear, action-oriented, 10-year plan that focuses on infrastructure, facilities, services, attractions, and events that need to be developed to improve overall visitor offering and experience. And whereas El Paso County increases tourism promotion through the support of the Colorado Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau, and whereas the El Paso County Strategic Plan identifies a strategy to expand tourism opportunities and emphasize its impact on the economy with a key objective to engage in a regional tourism master plan. And whereas El Paso County financially supported the development of the current master plan for the Pikes Peak region, and a steering committee with representation by El Paso County oversaw the development of the 2018 master plan, along with input from the El Paso County commissioners and staff. Now therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, hereby proclaims its support for the 2018 Destination Master Plan for Tourism in Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region, and encourages all residents to explore and support the abundance of assets in this region. Done this 28th day of June 2018 at Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, signed Darrell Glenn, President, Mark Waller, President Pro Tem, Stan Vanderwerf, Lajinos Gonzalez Jr., and Peggy Littleton, members, and attested to by Chuck Browerman, County Clerk and Recorder.
Second.
Doug, you're up.
You know, in sales, sometimes you can talk too much and and oversell something. And the fact that there's a proclamation that's been made, I have a presentation, but I sent it in advance, well in advance, and also sent and have handed you a hard copy of that. I would be happy to answer any questions. If there's no need for me to go through 13 slides, I won't go through 13 slides. I respect everybody's time, but I'll be happy to kind of hit some of the highlights and also say thank you for your support.
Commissioner Littleton.
Doug, I think we should do that simply because we've looked at it, as you say, but this puts it on the record, and so
Sure.
people can watch it, on TV when they have insomnia if they want to find out about the Destination Master Plan.
Yes.
I tell them they can watch our meetings, so we'd love to have you do that.
I'm going to go to let you know where we are today. I'm going to fast forward through that. We're now to June for plan development and validation with the county commissioners ratifying today. These numbers were some of the numbers that Commissioner Vanderwerf just read, so I don't need to repeat them. I would say one interesting thing about 23 million visitors, and if I were to say, you know, Doug, what are some of the things you've really learned in this process? 13 million visitors that come here are just day visitors. And one thing that we know, you can't do it all in a day. And so one of the things over the next 10 years we really are going to be focusing on are the types of things that we can do to get people to spend a night, 2 nights, 3 nights, and be able to, you know, realize that, boy, there is a lot to do here. Some of the key takeaways: very impressive natural assets here with significant population growth. This is the time for us to be putting a plan like this together. Having a unified brand for Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region would be valuable. The Olympic Museum is going to help transform downtown's appeal for visitors. An event venue is lacking, whether it serves sports or meetings. That market must really be determined, and the importance of collaboration would be enhanced through more stakeholder networks and greater regional cooperation. Here is the destination vision, which Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region will be the leading U.S. destination for experiential travel, inspired by the majesty of Pikes Peak, iconic, accessible natural wonders, and the Olympic spirit. The 5 big ideas that came out of the plan were: 1, to make Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region the most desirable place for urban and outdoor experiential travel in the U.S., to further leverage the presence of the Olympic organizations and the new U.S. Olympic Museum, to develop the right sports event and meeting venues for the city and region to attract out-of-town events, make the region the place for 4-season arts, culture, and festivals in Colorado, and to establish a regional sustainable transportation system. These 5 destination goals are kind of the key buckets, the key placeholders that we've put together, and under each one of these goals, there is a total of 31 initiatives, broken out 6 to 7 at a time. But at the very top there, the providing unique experience is the one that we believe that if we can let people know all the things there are to do here, this will help extend the length of stay, deliver priority infrastructure that meets our needs now and growing into the future.
Question here.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Littleton.
Okay, Doug, going back to provide unique experiences, you and I and our community have talked about this so much. And, you know, the thing is that what are we going to have here that's going to be the bucket list? Like, everybody's got to go do this. You got to go see the Eiffel Tower. You got to go to the Sydney Bridge. Are we going to get a, like, bungee jumping from the Olympic torch? So everybody goes, I've got to go bungee jump from the Olympic torch.
Yeah, we've talked to the insurance people in town and how excited they are about that whole plan. You know, we think, number one, that we have a number of great bucket list things to begin with. And one of the things that we're concerned about, frankly, has been the closing of the COG, the closing of the Air Force Chapel at the end of this year.
Right.
We have all the reason to believe, of course, that the chapel will reopen once it's sealed. And the COG, we have high hopes that, you know, between the city of Manitou and things look like they're coming together, that we'll in a couple of years get the COG back. But I think that we've always thought of this Olympic Museum as a pilgrimage, that there will be people from all over the world that will want to come and see what this Olympic Museum is going to bring. And I think what Vermejo Street is going to look like in the next couple of years are all things that I think are going to make us even better than we are today. And I have no doubt, Peggy, that there's going to be things that we're going to study and look at that are going to be the types of attractions that people will say, I'll never forget doing that, or I'm going there to do that.
To go do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
whether it includes bungee jumping, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they obviously do it. I mean, one of the things when people say that they're going to Victoria, Canada, I'm like, well, the two things you got to go do is, bungee jump from the highest bridge in Victoria, Canada, and go whale watching in
Right.
the small boats so that you can dive from the killer whales. So, it does. I mean, people talk about that, and it's like, you got to go do that. So.
Does the proclamation need an asterisk?
I know, it's like, and.
Okay.
I know, thanks, Doug.
Yes. Strengthening the destination brand in really having the resources to get the name out there and invite people to come. And finally, again, regional collaboration. We're not doing this in a vacuum. We certainly, with our friends in Teller County and Fremont County, we've got to make sure that we are working with them as we are working here with El Paso County and the city of Colorado Springs. These are the things I won't go through line by line, but certainly, for example, the signature events, I mean, between the hill climb last week and the U.S. Senior Open this week and the Balloon Festival and the different things we have coming, those are the types of events that we need to do more of, and we don't need them to all fall the last 2 weeks of June. The more we can spread out and kind of become more of a four-season destination, the better it is for all of us. The priority infrastructure, I might call your attention to item G down there, arts and culture. Everything we know about arts and culture, that the people who come here on that sort of tourism tend to spend a little bit more money, stay a little bit longer, and between the Ent Center for the Arts and what we have up here with Colorado College and the Fine Arts Center, we have so many things that we can leverage to make it a special place. The improving connectivity, the public transit, the wayfinding, continuing in air access at Colorado Springs Airport. This is an area that we are going to absolutely need help with. They're beyond the scope of the Colorado Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau, and so these are really important issues for us to be looking at. The destination brand, one down there for funding, increasing tourism promotion to support four-season marketing and what that could look like over the next 10 years, and enhancing regional collaboration, I think is all spelled out there for you. So the way this ends up, truly, over the next 10 years, we have targets, and in the middle section there, you'll see that for an organization whose mission is to bring more visitors to Colorado Springs, we still know we need to do that, and we're talking about increasing that by about 25% over the next 10 years. But where we really want to put emphasis is on visitor spending and taking these millions of visitors that we already have coming and make sure that we can get them to stay a little longer and spend a little bit more money. And so therefore we have that goal going up 100% over 10 years. And we think there's sustainability, we have a responsibility for doing that, and those are the targets and the goals that we have set. So with that, I will be happy to answer any additional questions.
Commissioner Littleton.
Sorry, this is kind of a passion of mine as well. So just looking at it, one of the thoughts, and I really like that, it looks like you guys have clear, measurable goals. Where are you going? What are your, strategic plans? What are your goals and your strategies on how to get there? One of the things that just occurred to me as you were speaking about this, I was just thinking about when we talked about connectivity and, how do you get around in the Pikes Peak region? Because without renting a car, it's practically impossible, okay? And we're not going to be a community that's going to be dense enough of a population to ever probably have a robust rail system. We're not Washington, D.C., we're not Chicago. One of the things that occurred to me is just thinking about a trip I'm taking to Croatia in August. One of the things that we've done is set up day tours where, we go out and we're going to go on the boat to go out to 6 Islands to go, cave diving or, to go up to Plitvik Lakes or something like that. And I don't know if there would be anybody who, any capitalists out there that would say, hey, we want to start like a small tour company where we do, an adventure in Colorado Springs for day one. It looks like this. We go here, we go there. You get on a bus, and you go do those things. I think that would really enhance, the people staying longer going, oh my gosh, we can't get it all done in one day. What about, doing a 3-day tour in Colorado Springs, and we can go on these different tours and go get off, and just food for thought.
You know, Commissioner, you're right on, and it is big business. As a matter of fact, in the month of May, the city of Denver hosted this organization, a conference. It was called IPW, and there were 6,000 buyers from around the globe who came to Denver and throughout the state on pre and post trips to do exactly what you were talking about, to put itineraries together. That these are international visitors that come in generally through DIA, and our job, and we had 44 of them here on a post trip, taking them all over the region and letting them see that as you put these itineraries together around the state of Colorado, you need more than a day in Colorado Springs, and you're 100% right. There's a lot of value in that market.
Great. Commissioner Vander.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm really glad that we are in the process of developing this destination master plan because, well, I think most of us, or maybe all of us, actually got interviewed about kind of our views of things and some of our observations. And I'm very hopeful, and I think to one degree or another, it's already happened. There's been a lot of things revealed from just the work in getting to the master plan. But, you know, some of the things that I've noted, and I'll put this in this arena of experiential tourism. Mm-hmm. You know, for example, we went earlier this year to Boise to kind of see, and we do this once a year and go to different places through the chamber to see how other communities, you know, attract tourism or grow economic development. So they had a house history tour on a trolley, and they had a food tourism tour where they walked around downtown for food. And one of the things I find interesting is, in many respects, when I find these in other communities, I come back home to our community and find out we have it too.
They're here.
I just didn't know about it.
Yeah, that's it. That's already here.
So I think one of the biggest weaknesses we have is that we don't even know what we already have. Mm-hmm. We have so many really wonderful, you know, they're not like the big giant museums like the Olympic Museum will be, but they're smaller venues, but the collection of them together is, I think, a really big deal. So, you know, house history tours, we've got some very famous houses, I mean, and some that we might not think about very much, like the Colorado Springs School. I mean, it's a veritable palace. Mm-hmm. It's just an interesting thing, and the history behind it is interesting. And then lots of smaller museums that can be, I think, a lot of fun. The Numismatic Museum has, if I understand correctly, the 4th largest collection of money in the United States.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, and so these are kinds of things that we don't even know about our community. So I just, I believe the master plan is going to ferret those out and get us to seeing and realizing so many more of these things that we already have. And then, of course, it's a process of making the best use of them so we can grow our tourism. And I do think the Olympic Museum is going to anchor that for us.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Commissioner Littleton.
I was just going to say, just to add on to what Stan had said, I mean, people might not even know, and it's doing those things again, you know. Who doesn't go to the internet now and look up top 10 things to do in, top 20 things to do in, you know, and then just lining up those tours going, oh, they have one that does, you know, 7 of those things that I want to get done while I'm in Colorado Springs. I can ride the bus, I can go do things. I don't know if people know, but I just happened to run across it. I don't know how well advertised it is, but there's actually like a party bus now, you know, that goes around and goes to different bars within Colorado Springs. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like the Cuckoo Canuku down in Aruba, you know, not that I've been on it. But I thought, you know, people don't know those kind of fun things that they have.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Why don't we vote on this, and then we will stand in recess and take a quick picture. Call the roll. Commissioner Littleton.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Aye.
Commissioner Waller.
Aye.
President votes aye. That passes unanimously. We'll stand in recess.
Thank you.